I have 2 kids who receive special education, and these are the binders where I keep track of it all. Sometimes I bring them to IEP meetings just to see the look on the rest of the team's faces when they realize that I've come prepared. Hi, I'm Robin, a family support specialist at PAL. I'm here today to share the top tip that I share with all the families I work with when it comes to working with schools. Here it is. Communicate as though the school wants the best for your child, but plan and prepare as though they might not. We get to the binders when we talk about the second half of that, but let's start with the first part. Communicate as though the school wants the best for your child. In other words, be polite because you catch more flies with honey than vinegar. After all, many teachers do want to help your child as best they can. No one goes into teaching, much less special education, for the money. They do it because they care about kids. Many teachers are trying their very best, and it's not going to help to insult them. The key here is to be firm about what you want, but polite in how you phrase it. For example, if you need the school to communicate better with you about your child's progress, you might say, I know you must be super busy helping my child and the others in your class. Can we strategize about how to communicate regularly in a way that works for you? Or if you feel like the school is not meeting your child's needs, you could say, I feel so much gratitude for my child's team, and I'm concerned that my child has needs that the school is just not structured or equipped to provide for. Can we talk about other programs that may be a better fit? In other words, say what you need to say, but be polite about it. Now comes the second half. Plan and prepare as though the school may not be putting your child's needs first. After all, schools have a lot to consider. Sometimes the budget gets in the way of providing what they want for students. And recently, staffing shortages have made it hard to give kids all the attention they need. Sometimes administrators and higher ups pressure teachers and special ed coordinators to keep costs down. So you're going to prepare for interactions with the school as though you're going to need to argue for everything your child needs. If it ends up going easier than you planned, no harm done. And if you do need to go to bat for your kid, you'll be ready. One key to being prepared is to keep good records and keep them organized. That's where my binders come in. That way, when you need to prove a point to the school, you can easily find hard evidence to back yourself up. For example, when I was arguing that my son needed an out-of-district placement, I was trying to prove that he wasn't making adequate progress in his local public school. It helped that I had kept all his progress reports in each year's IEP. That's because I could show that the same IEP goals were being repeated year after year, a sure sign that progress wasn't being made. I could also point out that in his progress reports, he was only moving forward in a couple of his objectives. I also kept notes during his parent-teacher conference that year, in which the teacher admitted that my son was only in her classroom for about half an hour a day. All this really went a long way towards proving our point. So how do you keep records? First off, save everything related to your child's schooling. Evaluation reports, 504s or IEPs, progress reports, any notes or calls from the teacher, and any time you communicate with the school. You can print things out and keep them in a binder, like I do, or you can use a folder on your computer or phone. Next, get a notebook or open a document and log a sentence or two about how your child does each day. Any disciplinary actions, anytime the teachers talk with you about your child, and so on. You can also log if your child does okay at school but breaks down when they get home. It helps to do as much communication as you can in writing. Email works great, so you have a record of it. If you do have a face-to-face conversation, follow up by sending an email that summarizes what was discussed. Send it to the person you talked with, saying that this is your recollection of the call or conversation, and asking that person to get back to you if they disagree. That last phrase is important. Don't ask them to confirm that it's correct, but to let you know if it isn't. That way, if they don't respond, you still have their tacit confirmation that what you said is accurate. Once you have good records, you can look through them before school meetings to plan what you want to say. It can also help to plan by thinking ahead of time about what you want to get out of the meeting and about what you want to communicate. Write down your key points or priorities. You can even make an agenda and share it with the team when you get to the meeting, so they know you are prepared and that they need to save time for you to talk as well. One trick I like is to ask direct questions of your child's teachers, aides, and so on. If they're being pressured by the administration to, say, save money, they may not agree that your child needs something, say an IEP. But if you ask them directly how often your child is in the classroom, if they are keeping up with the rest of the class, if they look happy in class, and so on, they will usually answer you truthfully. Keep a record of their answers, and again, use the email trick to get it into writing. Another way to plan for a meeting with your child's school or special education team is to get support from a PAL family support specialist like myself. So check us out online at ppal.net and learn more about how we can help. Thank you.